Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joseph Najjar with Oz Arab Media, and I'd like to welcome you back to the program. Right now, we are joined by Tunisian star Ichraq Matar. She's joined us today to discuss her role in the movie Four Daughters. It's a movie that's been nominated for many awards, winning many, including a nomination for Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature Film. She's joined us today, as mentioned, to discuss the film and her role and the experience it's been for her. Ichraq, thank you for joining us. How are you?
Thank you for the invitation. I'm fine, thank you. I'm happy to be here with you.
We're glad to have you. Thank you, Ishraq. Ladies and gentlemen, I should have also mentioned in the introduction that we will be talking about the movie, but we will not be going so deep into details to spoil it for you. But we will be discussing the plot and summary of it. So that leads me into my first question. Ishraq, tell us about the movie and your role in it.
This movie, so Four Daughters, I knew it was a special movie since the beginning of the process, since the casting. So in the casting, I had to watch videos of Ghofrane and Rahma in prison. Then I had to talk like Ghofrane, then to talk like as myself, and then talk as Rahma, then talk as myself. And when I had to talk as myself, I had to find things in common and points of similarity and points of difference between us. So I knew that the character will not be a fictional character, it's a real character. She's still alive, and so it was a big responsibility, and we had to be as much loyal as possible to the character. And normally, when we have a normal script, we read the script, we try to understand the character, and in order to understand better the character, we ask questions to the director. But this time, we asked the mother and the sisters of the character about the character, to how was she, how to ask her about how she perceives things, how she do things, and I like what I like in this film is that it asks a lot of questions and it talks about a lot of topics. It's a film in which there are attempts to understand the human nature and to understand its contradictions. And it talks about radicalization, it talks about teenagehood, it talks about motherhood, sisterhood, the relationship between mothers and daughters. It talks about the impact of the political situation on the social situation and on families. It talks even about the job of actors. As you see in the film, we're not only playing characters. It talks about violence, about freedom, and in the form of questions.
Okay.
But
Um,
there is no judgment in the film.
yeah. I do want to make sure I get the plot right as well as give the audience some understanding about what the story is. It took me actually a couple times watching it to fully comprehend it because it's a really deep film.
Yeah.
It's very complex. So the story is of a mother with four daughters, two of whom, the two oldest, run off to become ISIS brides, correct? And as a result, a film director brings in a cast to recreate the moments from the daughter's life with the mother. Um, Now that is very complex, and I've never seen that in film before. Like it's unique.
Me neither.
I know. Did you, in discussions with the writers or the director, what was the inspiration behind such a story? Were you um, involved in this? Were these details shared with you?
What inspired the director?
Yeah, what inspired such a unique story?
I think the story of Olfa and her daughters was on the news in Tunisia, and Kaouther knew about it in the news, and so she contacted Olfa, and she found that she Olfa has a fascinating way to tell
Films.
her story, and so she found that Olfa can be a cinematic character, full of contradictions and intriguing, and also the fact that two young daughters go to ISIS is intriguing. Why did they do that?
Yeah.
What let them do that?
Yeah.
So just to understand why.
The
And
mentality.
yeah,
Okay.
because the media talk about this story so superficial in
Yeah.
a so superficial way, but that's why cinema can dig deep to the reasons behind this.
Okay. That does give me some understanding. So the aspect of the film where the director brings in cast to recreate life events, that's to help give the mother understanding. That's very. It never hit me when I was watching the movie that that was the reason, but it's a very interesting concept. So shout out to the director and the writers for coming up.
Yeah, and maybe the director can answer better this
Yeah,
question.
of course. Um, how did you prepare for such an emotionally demanding role? Because I imagine it would have taken a toll on you.
Yeah, I watched a lot of videos of Ghofrane and Rahma. I watched the news that talked about this story, and also the presence of Olfa and Aya and Taysir in the film helped me a lot to prepare this character and to understand this character.
Okay.
But I think this film is very challenging for actors. Because we were shooting every day, all day long, and we were discussing, and we didn't have any idea about what will the film look like at the end.
Yeah. Was it what you imagined it to be?
Sorry?
Was the finished product what you imagined in your mind it to be?
I was curious actually, but I was satisfied when I watched the final result.
Okay. Were
Yeah,
you with
and
the other
I watched it maybe 7 times, and each
seven
time I
times?
watched it, I discover new things in the film.
That's very 7 times. With the cast and crew each time, or was it just with friends?
No, no. Sometimes with the casting crew, sometimes with friends, sometimes alone.
Okay. Promoting a movie is a big thing. Um, have you traveled much to promote the film as yet, or have you mainly promoted it in Tunisia?
Yeah, we went to Cannes Film Festival. We went to Red Sea International Film Festival.
Okay.
Uh, some members of the crew went to other festivals. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
That
great. The film has a crazy journey because it started with the Cannes Film Festival, and then each time we hear about a festival, a nomination, a prize. So it's
yeah.
fantastic,
Well,
and I'm proud to be part of such a film.
as you should be, Ishraq. I do have a list of the nominations and the awards you guys have been nominated for and won right in front of me. To name but a few, ladies and gentlemen, Brussels International Film Festival, Cannes Film Festival, um, Independent Spirit Awards, Munich Film Festival. Like, this has truly had a global
Gotham
outreach.
Awards also.
Yes, man, the Gotham Film Awards are here too. And I think the most well known award as well, the Academy Awards, which will be on the 10th of March, US time, that is. Um, you did mention you're not going to the United States, but will you be watching the Academy Awards from Tunisia?
Of
Of
course, I'll be
course.
watching the ceremony.
What's the time difference between Tunisia and the United States? Because I just want to picture what time it will be for you when you start watching the awards.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Do you happen to know the time difference between Tunisia and the United States? I just want to imagine what time it will be for you when the awards start in Los Angeles.
I have no idea till
You
now,
have
but
no idea.
I
No,
will
you're right.
look.
I was just like curiosity, like if you would start watching the awards at like 2 or 3 in the morning, but we will be tuning in ourselves. All right. So, what does the future hold for you and the cast and the crew? Do you see you and the cast collaborating on future projects, or is this perhaps the start of a new journey in your life?
Uh, Actually, I hope that I will have the chance to work again with the cast, with Hind Sabri, with Majd Mastoura, with Noor Qarwi, and even with Taysir and Aya if she wants to be an actress. I hope also to work with the technical crew and with Kaouther again. It's always a pleasure to work with them, and especially in the shooting there was like a safe space. There was a good atmosphere in the shooting, even though the subjects were not all the time easy.
Yeah.
But I like to work with the team.
Okay. Do you have any future product projects for you that you can discuss with us now, or are you still?
Well,
Um,
as I'm an actress. I'm a cinema and theater actress. So I have two other films that will be out in 2024.
okay.
I have a theater play named Caligula 2 with Fadel Jaziri that we have some representations coming ahead. And I'm also a singer, and I'm a member of the group Ayun Kalam, and I'm also a member in the Tunis Opera Choir. So we have some concerts coming, and
Okay.
I will continue doing what I love doing the most,
Well, you have
art in all
Ozar's
its forms.
absolutely. You have Ozar media support and attention. Um,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Tell us also. So you mentioned you theater actress, film actress, singer. Um, as a child, what inspired you to enter this field? Was it passion? Was it an inspirational role model? What started this life for you?
I think what started this life for me was the library of my grandfather. He
Okay.
has a big library, and it started with reading books. I s-
Okay.
I didn't have a phone when I was a child,
Yeah.
so I spent all my time reading books, and I think that's what opened this path for me. Then I started studying theater, and I joined musical groups, and I was always passionate about acting, singing, sometimes even dancing or and writing.
Okay. I like that. I've never met someone who start in acting or singing, start began
Yeah.
in reading books. So I like it. It's a
I also started in the radio. I
okay.
was part of a program for children.
All right.
So when I was 10 years old, I was animating a radio program for
You're 10
children.
years old.
Yeah,
You're a
and I
child
was
star
like,
as well then.
yeah, there was a radio program for children, and I was part of it in Radio Sfax.
Okay. What
So
were the books that you read that inspired you when you were little?
I read a lot of books, and I read books for adults when I was children.
Okay.
I read Albert Camus. I read Najib Mahfouz, Gibran Khalil Gibran, Mikhail Nuaima.
All right. So all the greats.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Ishraq, you have an interesting story to tell, and um, thank you for sharing it with us, and thank you for joining us to talk about the movie.
thank you
Um,
for the invitation
absolutely.
again.
If people do want to watch the movie, what's the best place they can find it or where they can stream it?
They can find it in theaters and on DVD.
It's on DVD as well?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, nowhere online like the Apple Store, um,
Yeah,
any of
it's
these
online.
platforms?
Sorry, I don't remember exactly the
No,
names
you're
of
quite all right. You're
the
quite all right.
sites,
You're quite all right. That's totally
but it's
okay.
easy to find. But it's easy to find on internet.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I do recommend checking out this movie. It can be found online, so if you just Google Four Daughters, you should be able to find something. Ichraq, as mentioned, plays the eldest daughter. She did a fantastic job. It's one of the reasons it's been nominated for so many awards. So thank you, Ichraq, for joining us to share your story.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the Australian audience.
All right, shukran.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.